Hello and welcome to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Carissimo and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday to help you mastermind to grow your real estate business. And what we're talking about today is building a pipeline. Now, when I'm talking about building a pipeline, we're not talking about a pipeline of gas, not a physical pipeline, although that's a really good analogy for what we're going to be talking about here. Just because without, a constant flow of fuel for your business, where is your business going to go? And so let's head right over the board. Let's dive right into it today. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in, Sunset Mike. Whether you guys are tuning in on Facebook, like Mike over here, over on YouTube, maybe you're tuning in on our Success Center on our website. Welcome. We definitely appreciate having you here on the air with us. Let me just go ahead and get the YouTube chat loaded up as well in case anybody is tuning in over in YouTube land. Welcome, everyone on YouTube land. But yeah, let's get right into it. Building a pipeline. If you don't have a pipeline, here's what happens if you don't have a pipeline. So if you're curious, what is a pipeline? Why do I need it? Before we talk about what it is and how to set one up, let's first talk about why you might need a pipeline. Let's say that you get so many people like so I'll put a little phrase up here. One step at a time. There's a time and place where this is valid, where this concept of one step at a time would be maybe applicable. Whenever you feel overwhelmed, just take it one step at a time. But why is it that you're feeling overwhelmed? What's causing that overwhelm? Is it just because something's new? Because if something is new, it might scare you a little bit to the point where you might feel like I got to take this one step at a time. And again, there's a time and place for this. But when we're talking about your real estate business, we're not talking about one step at a time. Because one step at a time will make things move slow. Hey, welcome in, Alana. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Whether you're tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, welcome in. This is our weekly live stream every Friday, State of Real Estate. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon, or drop in your email at the website, tsre.us, and drop in your email on that website, tsre.us, and we'll send you out notifications. So, one step at a time. We don't want that because it'll make things go slow. So you're going to be overwhelmed. And it's just like risk. You cannot avoid risk. If you avoid risk, you won't make money in business and investing and whatever. There's always some degree of inherent risk. You go outside. In this day and age, there's some inherent risk to going outside, one way or another. So if we're going to put ourselves at risk, let's at least make it worth it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Rather than, just like, all right, well, let me just slowly put myself at risk. Rather than I wish this whiteboard had spell check. I think that looks right. Accelerate. We don't want to go slow. We want to accelerate. And that's going to require us at times to not think of things one step at a time. Because again, this idea of one step at a time will slow us down. And we're not trying to go slow. We want to go fast. Who's seen that movie Talladega Nights? We got any Will Ferrell fans on here today? Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby. I want to go fast. Let's go fast. All right, so how do we go fast? How do we accelerate our real estate business? What does this even apply to a pipeline? You're like, John, I thought you said you're going to tell me why a pipeline is important. Well, because with the idea of going slow, of taking things one step at a time, the key word is one. And so what people usually do when they think of things one step at a time, and again, there's a time and place for one step at a time, but it's not one client at a time. It's one step at a time, not one client at a time, because most people misinterpret that one step at a time for one client at a time. Let me get my red ink back out here. No, 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 none of this. If I said no to one step at a time, absolutely not to one client at a time. Because here's the thing, so anyone that's new to real estate, let me know if you guys are tuning in, if you've got your real estate license already, where are you at in the business, or are you brand new to this, are you thinking about a real estate career? Let me know where you guys are at so we can make this more applicable to where you're at and what stage it is that you are. But if you think of this idea, one client at a time, that seems to make sense. Well, I can only do one person, right? No. Because anyone that's on here that's a veteran, hey, welcome in, Joyce. Good to see you. Anyone that's a veteran in the real estate business will tell you this one little thing right here, probably one of the most important concepts when it comes to a pipeline. So I was going to tell you why pipelines are important, and this is it. Because again, not one step at a time, not one client at a time, because this is, again, probably the most important thing for you to understand about a pipeline. Not all deals close. Not all deals close. Every deal won't close. Not just one. It's not like you're going to have one deal fall through in your lifetime. Deals. If you're new to the real estate business, you might not know this yet. And even if you do know this, a lot of people forget about this. And they get caught up in this idea of one client at a time. And if you're doing one client at a time, you're putting your livelihood at stake, because not all deals close. You're going to put your livelihood at stake because if you're investing all this time in this one client, two clients, one client, if you're investing this time in one client and this deal doesn't close because deals won't close, wait a minute, John, they don't talk about that on the TV shows, that deals don't close. Yeah, they do. You watch enough of these reality TV shows. You got to sift through the drama and the chaos that is Hollywood with these TV shows, but you can kind of pick apart, oh, well, that's kind of real there. That's kind of real. That looks kind of legit. But you'll see not all deals close. And wait, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Because if you thought, oh, wow, this is very important. Now, this is the most important. Because if you could wrap your mind around this concept that not all deals will close, that you may have clients that for reasons that are outside of your control 100% completely, that there is nothing you can do. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things you can do in a lot of circumstances where people would use the excuse as, oh, it was somebody else's fault. We'll get to that maybe today. If not, that's a recurring theme on State of Real Estate. If anyone's been tuning in, again, we've been doing the show for years, so if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, drop in your email at tsre.us, and we'll send you out notifications whenever it is that we have new content, new videos, new live streams. And is this making sense so far to everyone tuning in? Is this helpful? Is this beneficial? Do you guys already know this? Do you already know that all deals close, or is this... Maybe we need to go a step deeper. Do you want to go deeper? Because we could go deeper. because I plan to go deeper, unless you don't want to go deeper. Let's move on. So not all deals close. Not all deals will close. All right. Okay, so I might have a contract that falls through is what you're saying, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. So what do? How do you make it not fall through? Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Sometimes there will be things outside of your control, and so you must go above and beyond of what you can control to maybe influence those things that are outside of your control. Because that's all you're able to do is maybe influence those things that are outside of your control. Maybe influence them. But we're going to get to that. We're going to get to the pipeline. And this is really, we're kind of thinking through the idea of a pipeline. We'll tie it together in just a minute here. But as I said, not all deals close. All right, so some contracts won't close. Here's another one. Not all appointments become contracts. Now, I can understand, and this is why I would say this is the number one misconception, is that not all deals close. Because a lot of people think, okay, once we're under contract, we're good, right? No, it's a misunderstanding of sellers. It's a misunderstanding of buyers, and it's a misunderstanding of new agents. So the real estate business, if you haven't had these deals fall apart in front of you, or if you haven't had someone like me up here on YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is you guys are tuning in telling you, hey, not all your deals will close, so you got to plan for that. And we're going to get to that with the pipeline. That's what the pipeline is for, to protect you from this. The pipeline is the answer to these problems of the things that are outside of your control. And another thing is not all appointments will become contracts. Now, most people, I would say, probably understand this more because they know, well, you know, the house might not be right. I might not be the right fit for them. If it's a listing agreement, they might not want to use me. They might not want to pay as much as I'm charging. I might not want to cut my commission too much, or whatever it is that you might have deals fall apart in the negotiations, or where, again, an appointment might become a contract. But then here's the thing. How many appointments will it take to get to that contract? And that's going to be one of the things that is we're talking about in our pipeline. But let's move on to another truth, another rule about pipeline. So we talked about not all deals close, not all appointments become contracts. You can maybe see where we're going to the next one. Not all leads become appointments. Not all leads become appointments. So one lead does not equal one appointment. So what do we have to have? What do we have to have here? Well, we want to get to a closing. Maybe we want to get to one closing, but now how many contracts do we need if not all deals close? Well, if not all deals close, we probably want to have at least 2 contracts. But what if not all appointments will become contracts? Well, I don't know, how many appointments is it going to take us to get to a contract? You might be guessing just as first, because if you haven't done this yet, you are guessing because you don't know how good you are. You don't know how skilled you are. You don't know how well trained it is you are. You might think you know how it is that you are, but if you're new to real estate, maybe any knowledge it is that you have from whatever previous experience you have or anything like that isn't quite as applicable. Or maybe it doesn't fit the scenario, because real estate sales is a little different than other types of sales. Now, if you've done sales before, you could very easily pick up real estate very quickly. But the thing is, because you just have so many products to sell, it's really about counseling somebody through this process and advising them and being the CEO of the transaction. But that's an episode for another day where we dive deeper into, what is it that you do as a real estate business? We've actually done a lot of videos on that type of stuff. So if you like what you're seeing today, check out our Success Center, tsre.us/success. That's tsre.us/success. That's our Success Center. And that has all of these videos. So much content, articles, calculators. Definitely check it out. Drop in your email on there. And again, we'll send you emails out whenever it is that we go live. Let's check out the Facebook chat before we go down this pipeline a little bit further. Then we'll actually show how this becomes a pipeline. So a lot of, yeah, it's true. I used to be in mortgages. Some deals do fall apart. Absolutely. And so if you've been maybe in a related field, these are the knowings that you're going to have about sales, about business, that, you know, when you're coming to the table to get your real estate license, you might be bringing some extra information, even though you haven't worked in real estate before. And especially if you've worked in any sort of sales field where you understand this idea that, well, you know, I need to get more contacts than I have actual leads, than I have actual appointments, than I have actual contracts, that I have actual closings. And that's what the pipeline is. Thank you for that, a lot of definitely great perspective on this. But let's continue this down. Let's continue down this path. We want to get to a closing. So not all deals close. So all right, we need at least 2 contracts then. I don't know, let's figure 10 appointments. You might be better than that. It might take longer than that. It also kind of depends on the client, but ultimately you'll have an average depending on your skill set. And if it is all over the place, I would work on, you know, dialing in the processes of your business a little bit more, working on how you can improve your skill set to have a more of a process to your real estate business. But again, more stuff we've talked about on other episodes of State of Real Estate before as well. We've got so many great videos. We've been doing this for years, so there's so much content. Definitely check it out. There's a huge catalog of stuff. Again, tsre.us/success. But let's say for appointments, let's say 20. Figure 10 appointments to get to a contract. If you're working with buyers, it'll probably be maybe around that, maybe even more. Sellers, it might be a few less because there might be more phone calls or things like that. You know, that's another step in this process that we could talk about, phone calls. Because phone calls are better than in-person appointments. And now, how many phone calls do we have to make to get to these 20 appointments, to get to 2 contracts? And you might be wondering, well, how many times am I going to call these 2 people? I don't know. You tell me, how many times are we going to call these 2 people? Or do you guys see where I'm going with this? What kind of trick am I playing right here? What's the trick question here? How many phone calls do we need to make to get these 2 contracts, to get these 2 people? And really what I want you to think of is not necessarily just the phone calls, but the people. Not all deals close, so you need more than 2. You need more than 2 people to get to that one closing, because you need 2 contracts. And get to 2 contracts, you're going to need 20 appointments. That might mean 10 appointments with one person, or that might mean 3 appointments with one seller, 3 appointments with a seller who didn't sign with you, and then 12 appointments with a couple of buyers. And however it mixes out to come out to be 20 appointments. But my point being is you're going to need multiple people. So you're going to have a higher volume of phone calls it is that you're making, not because you're calling the same people over and over again, while that will be the case for people it is that you're working with your clients it is that you're actively working with. You'll be communicating with them more, or as you get closer to actively working with them, you'll be in communication with them more. But now let's say 100 phone calls. These numbers are made up here. You got to track these for your business. Every one of you, I guarantee it, will have different numbers. We can maybe come up with some averages, but I hate averages. I hate averages because they're so deceiving. Because averages don't exist. Averages are a made-up construct. There's something it is that we've created as people to better understand numbers, but they're not real. So don't be average, because average isn't real. You're either above average or below average, because average isn't a real thing. And would you rather be above average or below average if we eliminate average as an option? I'm sure most of you are going to choose above average, but a lot of people are stuck in the trance that average is a thing, that average is a reality, but it's not. Average is made up. Go deeper into statistics. I took a few years of statistics classes, and what I learned, wow, statistics are basically made up. You can make them look like anything you want. Exactly. Average is not a real thing, so don't be average. You kind of start to see our pipeline building out. Now, this looks different than like any sort of real pipeline. You know, if we talk about pipelines that, fuel pipelines, has anyone seen this stuff like that on news or whatever? It's just a pipe. It's a very strong pipe having that gas under immense pressure. That's why if the pipeline burst, could be bad, could leak, whatever. But that's why there's such a strong pipeline to hold that all in. Us as people, we can't hold all that energy in, so our pipeline, but we're very elastic, we're very flexible, we're very adaptable, so our pipeline looks like this. Because in order to get this little trickle of business coming out of here for this one contract, you can think of this like a machine, like a conveyor belt, like some sort of device. That's what your business is. It's a system of processes that by your doing, your shepherding people through this sales process, your guidance, your knowledge, your information, your help, your assistance, your support, your advising, your counseling, your understanding, your delivering, and out pouts your one sale. Now that one sale might be a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 commission. And that's the other thing that a lot of people are like, wow. There was at one of my brokerages, we had a new agent who on her second day, she had a family connection and had the opportunity for a $1.8 million deal with a 3% commission, aka $55,000. That's one sale for more money than what some people even make in a year. And so a lot of people get caught up in this, oh, well, I only need one. If I could just get that one sale. And look, even if you're working part-time in real estate, look, getting one sale will be a challenge, but if you're only trying to get one sale, it's going to be even more challenging. Say that again. Might even write that down up here, but it was a lot of words. That one sale, if you're doing this part-time and you're just trying to get one sale, if you're just trying to get one sale, it's going to be so much more difficult to get that one sale rather than if you're trying to get multiple sales. If you're trying to get multiple sales, you'll end up with at least one sale. Whereas if you're just focused on, okay, how do I get that one sale? Who's that one perfect client? It's almost like you're judging people. Are you going to be my client? No, I only need one. I only want one client. I don't think that's going to be you. What if it was them? What if that was your one client? Because all the people that you wanted to be your client don't want to be your client. Because maybe they don't want to buy real estate right now. Or maybe they don't want to be your client. Don't take it personal. You could be new to this. Look, there's so many reasons why a deal could go wrong. You could be brand new to this and someone might be completely trusting of you because there's all kinds of ways to overcome that. We've talked about videos of this before. You know, someone who's brand new to real estate, you probably have a lot more time to devote to a seller, to a buyer. If you're joined with a good brokerage, with a good support team, maybe there's a mentor, there's some sort of coach, there's something like that. If you have those things in place, well, you've got a whole team of support. A team of support. So when an agent hires you, they're not just hiring you, they're hiring you and your team. And so how do we build out this pipeline further? Well, what's the next best thing to a phone call? Maybe a text. Maybe we're sending out 1,000 text messages because you could do a lot more text messages. Now you might be saying, well, I got to send 1,000 text messages to get one sale. I don't know. I haven't added them up. I don't have statistics on that. I don't think your iPhone tells you how many text messages you send and receive on a daily basis. But hey, if Steve Jobs, if you're listening from beyond the grave, let the people at Apple know. That'd be really cool if my phone would tell me how much I'm actually texting. Maybe it's already in that app where it tells you how much time, how many hours it is that you're spending in there. But let's talk about the real estate pipeline. And to look into this another way, because this is the way, and these numbers here, because the 1,000 texts, I don't even know. We're just making up numbers here. And I don't like made-up numbers. That's why I don't like averages, because they're made-up numbers. You want real numbers. You want your numbers of what you're doing, because you're not average. Nobody's average. There's no such thing as average. There's above average or below average. I challenge you to find that average person, and I bet you we could find some way to point out how they're not average. Prove me wrong. So look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stick with us. My name is John Carissimo. You're watching State of Real Estate.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Carissimo. This show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. But let's get back into this because we only have a few minutes left today. And let's finish up this concept of a pipeline. So back over here on the board, a pipeline. Another word for it might also be a funnel. And I like the concept of a funnel because it matches the shape. But just like, again, you want to get that one deal, that one sale, or really 10 sales, however many it is. Let's go for 10 because, again, you don't want to think of just one. Let's shoot for 10. Let's 10x it. Let's do like Grant Cardone. We'll 10x it. Instead of one deal, we're going to go for 10. If this is your first year and you're going for 10, maybe you're doing this part-time, you might only end up with one deal. But if you only go for one deal, you might end up with no deals because not all deals close. There's so many leaks in this funnel. There'll be leaks in your pipeline. That's a good way to think about this. You know, we've got this pipeline. There's going to be leaks in your pipeline. And as you become more experienced, as you become more knowledgeable, you're going to be patching up these leaks to have a more efficient, a stronger pipeline. But at first, your pipeline is going to have to be super wide because it's going to have leaks. It's not going to be strong. It's not going to be very long because it hasn't existed for very long yet. And that's why you have to constantly follow up with everybody because it's not just about leads. This is the number one rule for building your pipeline. The number one rule for building your pipeline is every contact. Every contact is worth 5+ sales. 5+ sales from one person. Plus, 5+, more than 5, 10, 20, 30 from one contact. How? A strong pipeline. Understanding the knowledge of what this pipeline does. Because those are your contacts we're just talking about. You're going to have contacts in your pipeline. The contacts are going to be the biggest stage of your pipeline. The next stage of your pipeline is going to be leads. Now, leads become prospects. Prospects become clients. Clients become closings. Not always. Again, there's all kinds of leaks in this process here. And then your closed clients are back here in the contacts. And you might just be thinking, okay, well, it must just be from repeat business, right? Is that how they're worth 5 deals? Well, what if you're getting into real estate at an older age and you're not sure if you've got a whole lifetime of clients to be able to serve? So how are you going to get all this repeat business? It's not just repeat business, although that is a piece of the puzzle. But repeat business takes forever. It's 5 to 7 years on average that somebody in the United States buys and sells a home. So 5 to 7 years is what you're going to be waiting for repeat business. So to get 5 deals just on that, you're looking at 25 to 35 years. to get 5 deals from repeat business. So if you're in the business 25 to 35 years, you could probably get at least 5+ deals just from repeat business, from the average typical homeowner. But even if you're in the business less than that, maybe 5 years, you could easily get way more than this, and that's through referrals. And here is very simply put the number one rule of referrals. Every contact is worth 5+ referrals. Because that's really how you get these 5+ sales. Who knows when they're going to sell their house again? You can't count on that. They might not ever sell their house again, and you can't force them. They might not want to. You can't go, come on, man, I need to get repeat business. I don't want to have to go work with new people. You're going to have to work with new people. But what if these new people can be a warm handoff through a referral? And that's a big part of your pipeline. And that's why contacts are so important. The contacts up here, because these contacts are not just going to become leads, but these contacts can send you leads. Your friends, your family members can send you leads. And if you've seen our episodes we've done recently about doing real estate from a referral capacity, you could refer business all over the world and earn referral fees. You just need to have a Florida real estate license. There's referral brokerages you could join that are very low cost, very low fees. You don't have to join the Association of Realtors. You do have to have an active real estate license with a referral broker, so you do have to take the pre-licensing course, get your application, the fingerprints, take the state exam, and then get your license active with a referral broker. But then you could typically earn about 25%. It's negotiable, but usually about 25% of the commission. And you don't do any of the work. You just have the contact and connect to that contact with a realtor who will do the work. And so if you have a real estate license, you could get, if you're doing that for a realtor, if you're feeding some realtor leads and you're like, I'd like to be paid for that. If you legally want to get paid, you could actually legally get paid if you have an active real estate license. You don't have to become a realtor. You don't have to pay for the MLS and all the big board fees and all that other stuff. You just get your license, hang it with a referral brokerage. There's tons of referral brokerages out there where you don't even have to pay any money to hang your license there. They just take a small percentage of any referral commissions it is that you receive. And so doing something like that, you could also do with somebody who doesn't have a real estate license. They just can't pay you. You can't pay them. If you don't have a real estate license, you can't necessarily pay for referral of real estate business. Now, of course, you could take care of your friends, get them gifts and whatnot as you would for any other friend based on your level of friendship with them. And, for me, money isn't everything with friendship. You guys might see where I'm going with this. I probably shouldn't say that live on the air here. But anyways, that's for you guys. That's the information that you need to know because, look, here's the thing. When you know what the laws are, you know what you're allowed to do. And that's one of the things that, there's different hats that I wear. Sometimes I wear my FREC instructor hat. Sometimes I wear my broker hat. And there's different things that I might say depending on the audience, depending on the perspective, depending on the scenario and what information is going to be relevant. Here we're talking about a pipeline, but obviously we wouldn't talk about this information to somebody that wants to buy a house. But for you guys that are here to learn how to build a real estate business, this is essential because otherwise you just have a roller coaster of a real estate business and no one wants their business to be a roller coaster. I'm not a fan of roller coasters myself. It's too much of this stuff. Some people get a thrill from that, but not when that's your money. If that's your money on this roller coaster, that's not good. And that's what happens when you don't have a pipeline. Because you do a deal, then you're looking for clients. Then you finally find another client, you do a deal, maybe it falls through and you have to go find another client. But when you take things one thing at a time like this, you'll never do more than a couple of deals a year most likely, even if you've been doing this for a while. You cannot take your pipeline one step at a time. You have to do all the steps at once. You have to visualize all the steps at once. You have to see the possibilities through referrals. You have to know that you could get so many deals, so many sales from every single contact in your pipeline. You just need to brand yourself as the real estate specialist to your sphere of influence. And you might wonder, who's my sphere of influence? What is my sphere of influence? Your sphere of influence is everybody that looks to you for information. That's the way I would frame this, if we're going to talk about this from a business perspective. Now, ultimately, your sphere of influence on a greater scale is really anybody that you have influence over, or people that have influence over you, because you'll be in their sphere of influence. So we could talk about it that way, but I want to talk about it here for now about, the business side of this, about the pipeline. So all of your contacts, everyone you know, whether you think you'll close a deal with them or not, they're in your sphere of influence. They're a contact who could get you a lead. How does this contact get you a lead? Well, they know people. They have friends. They have family members. They have coworkers. They have neighbors. And people always look for a personal recommendation. And yeah, you could have like Google reviews or Zillow reviews or whatever reviews on whatever website. You could put reviews on your own website, but how do we know these things aren't made up? We've got like 2,000 reviews here at Tampa School of Real Estate, and people think they're made up. We've got videos and review and all these things, and we've got so many of them. People write like essays on their experience with us, and it's because we provide a great experience, but it doesn't matter if you've got 2,000 reviews, guys. Trust me, people will still think they're made up. So your reviews alone are not nearly as good as an actual personal referral. So imagine me and you were friends. We are friends, of course. You guys are all my friends here. And we're talking. And let's say you say, hey, John, I've got somebody that, wants to sell their house. Oh, that's fantastic. I'd love to be able to help them out. Oh, really? Yeah, of course. Most people don't even know you want business. So you have to be proactive in seeking these referrals, because that is how every contact is worth 5 sales. Don't even worry about the sales. Worry about the relationship and who they might know that needs to sell. I mean, has a salesperson ever done that to you? Where they're saying something like, yeah, no, we're looking for somebody who wants to buy this vehicle. Well, I want to buy that vehicle. Oh, you do? But when you're talking to your friends, yeah, I'm just looking for people that want to buy or sell houses. The market's crazy out there. So I always try to look for more people it is that I could help guide through it. Yeah, do you happen to know anybody? Oh, now that I think of it, someone so was talking about it. And you might ask this one time. This is another time where a lot of people get hung up on this, where they'll ask for a referral and they'll get nothing. And then they'll say, oh, well, this is stupid. Why did I ask for a referral? But here's the thing. You can't just ask once. You have to constantly be reminding them, hey, don't forget, you have a job to do, to send me business. That's what you're doing. You're informing them of their job. Hey, don't forget about sending me business. Don't forget about sending me referrals. Remember how much you love me and how it would be so great and how helpful to me it would be sending referrals? That's your overall messaging it is that you want to have. And look, even if you don't have a license yet, because I know we put that in the email we sent out before this, how do you do this? How do you build your pipeline if you don't have a license yet? Because you can't advertise real estate services unless you have an active real estate license. That's practicing real estate without a license, third-degree felonies, all kinds of bad stuff that could go on. You don't want that. You're not allowed to advertise your real estate business if you don't have a license yet. So how do you build a pipeline if you can't tell people you could help them buy or sell a house? You could tell them you're getting a license. Or even if you're not even sure yet, but you want to, kind of think about this, or whatever it is that you want to do, the more people, the more contacts it is that you have, the more people it is that you know, the more people in your sphere. Someone I know just joined some sort of like social club thing. So actually, a couple of people I know just actually recently joined different social clubs. And they're just looking to get out there to meet more people, to build their base of contacts. Because both of these people I'm thinking of are in a position where they have businesses that can serve people. And, they like doing fun things. If they could be out there doing fun things and socializing with people while growing their real estate business, that's what they call networking. So there's all kinds of networking type of stuff. You might say, well, John, I've never networked before. It's not that hard. If you like to go to parties and eat and drink, well, that's networking. You just talk about business if you can. Because you're trying to get business at all times. You're always looking for an opportunity. Because when you're always looking for an opportunity, when you're always thinking about, well, that's maybe a way I could help this person. And I don't mean just coming up with any random idea of what if I invent this, or you think I could get on Shark Tank with this, or no, focus. You got to focus. You got to focus your efforts. You know, I've seen so many people that have so much potential, but without being able to dial in their focus, it's a tragedy. Because I see people that are not able to, bring things together. And I can understand, because I struggle with that myself, of being able to focus sometimes on what really is important and set aside those ideas. But there's one thing I constantly remind myself. Is number one, what vehicle I'm in. I'm in the vehicle of real estate. One way or another, I'm in the vehicle of real estate. So I'm always thinking, what works for my real estate vehicle. I've decided on that. That's what it is. I'm committed to real estate. So real estate is the vehicle that I'm in. So that's where the route is I'm always thinking of. And if you're being distracted by other ideas that could be good ideas, remember this one thing. Good is the worst enemy of great. Good is the worst enemy of great. Goodness is the enemy of greatness, because good will hold you back from being great. Good will leave you with so much left on the table, so much more potential. And so if you could focus your efforts and remember, hey, look, all these things that are good things, they might be good things. They might be good things you like to do. Distractions. Look, I've got tons of distractions, all kinds of things that I almost like don't like having fun, because it's like, wow, the fun is really fun. I do like having fun. But here's the thing, you could have fun in your real estate business. If you're in real estate and it hasn't been fun, build your pipeline. That is your problem. Because you know what isn't fun to me, especially the longer it goes on, is a roller coaster. I can handle a roller coaster if it's short. If I'm like, okay, let's get off. Let's take it easy now. You don't want your real estate career to be a roller coaster. You want it to look like this. I don't mind this. I could do this all day. Let's just keep going up. Just don't drop. I don't want to drop. And I don't mean the market dropping, because that doesn't matter, because you just adapt your real estate business and your business can still go up regardless of what happens in the real estate market. So look, I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. I know this is the end of today's episode of State of Real Estate, but I do really appreciate all of you tuning in with me here today. If there's any way we could help you out at the Tampa School of Real Estate in better understanding real estate, how to achieve your dream real estate career, call one of our advisors at 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. You could also text us at that number, or you could visit us online at tsre.us. That's tsre.us. So check us out online or give us a call. We'd love to help you achieve your dream real estate career. If you guys are tuning in, watching the replay, or if you're here on with us live, let me know. What did you like out of today's episode? What did you take away? What are you going to put into action from today's episode? Put it out there. Put it into existence. We'll be back next week for Ask the Instructor on Wednesday. That's all we've got for today. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great weekend. So you just got your real estate license. How can you jumpstart your real estate business? The number one thing you should do before you do anything else is post-licensing. Now look, this is already a requirement, so you're gonna have to do it anyways, but here's why you wanna do it early. The sooner you do post-licensing, the sooner you're gonna learn the real-world concepts in post-licensing that will help you create a business plan, that'll help you plan for your success in real estate. Post-licensing is all about real-world topics that are usable, that'll help you grow your real estate business. And at Tampa School of Real Estate, we have the best post-licensing courses around. Find out more about how post-licensing can help you jumpstart your real estate career. Go to postflorida.com.
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com. Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview. Hey, if you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Have you been thinking about getting your Florida real estate license? Look, the process is probably easier than you think. We break it down step by step, how much it's going to cost, what it is that you need to do to get your Florida real estate license. Find out all of that and more at licensefl.com. Again, that's licensefl.com.